Good morning, everyone. I want to talk today about what your greatest asset is. What is something that we all want out of this life? What are the things that you all, myself included, look for each and every day in our lives? What is your motivation? Are you interested in wealth? I mean, who isn't, right? Everybody likes money. Do you want acceptance, friendship, and community? So, love? What about purpose? Are you interested in living out your heart's desire and contributing to something productive or greater than yourself? What about longevity? Living a long and fruitful life, or living a life where you can function. So, your health, right? Can you imagine a life where you get to run on the beach when you're 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, and you feel amazing, fully capable, fully in charge of your body, and being able to express your health at optimal capacity? Aren't these the things that ultimately drive us? It's the reason why you go to work, why maybe you choose to have kids or start a family. It's why you do literally what you do every day. And from those things, what would you say is the most important asset that you have? You see, the things that I just described are likely the same for almost everyone that you ask. Ask someone what's really important to them in their life. And I'm pretty sure you can even guess what they're going to say, right? Because these are the things that, the reality is that what's important to you and the answers that you can come up with, they're going to be the same answers that you're going to see from other people around you. If you were to ask somebody what's important in their lives and they really thought about it, they're going to say things like God or faith, community, family, money, security, my health. And when we're talking about money, health, friendship, community, even God, what's the most important one on that list? What do you think? Which one of those can you not live without? In other words, if out of any one of those it went to zero, if it went to zero, which one can you not live without? If your money went to zero, can you live without money? Sure, you may not want to, but it's possible. Can you live without friendship? Absolutely. Again, not cool, but it's possible. Can you live without God? It's not going to be ideal, but again, it's possible. What about your health? Can you live when your health drops to zero? No, you cannot live without your health. So here's the thing. All of those factors are important in our life, but your greatest asset, if we had a totem pole and we had to put one on the top, and you really had to think about this, which one of those can you not live without? It's your health. Because what's the point of everything else if you cannot experience it to the fullest? In fact, more than health, what we're really talking about is time. So we can even extend that to saying that our greatest asset is actually our time. And your time is a function of your health. In fact, it's directly related to your health. You see, what good is money in the bank if you don't have the health to enjoy it? What good is having a family if you don't have your health to take care of them or to enjoy them? What's the point of having a faith in God if you don't have the health to be able to carry out the purpose that God has for you in your life? And the Bible is actually pretty clear about this. Even in Corinthians, we can read that, don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who lives in you and was given to you by God? You see, you don't belong to yourself. God bought you with a high price by giving his son. So therefore, one of the best ways to honor God is with a healthy body, a body that can do things. Do you know how many people spend their whole lives trying to get wealthy, to accumulate more friendship or build community? And at the end of it all, they're left devastated when it doesn't fulfill them, or because their bodies are literally broken down themselves to the point to where they're so sick, they cannot enjoy their life's work. You see, if you don't have your health, nothing else really matters. And a perfect example of this is actually the story of a man who spent the first part of his life working himself to death. I did an internship at MD Anderson years ago in Houston, Texas, and I'll never forget this man who was speaking to us in a conference room about his story and personal tragedy. This man told us that he was never willing to take the time to grocery shop for healthy food or take the time to cook healthy or prepare healthy food. He never had the time to exercise. He always convinced himself that he needed that extra 2 hours at night to finish emails and finish up the day's work. So he never went to bed on time. And one weekend, years before he was giving this talk to us, he didn't want to take the time to travel to Houston for a planned family trip to the beaches of Galveston, but they did because his wife forced them. And during this time at the beach, his life changed forever. You see, this man, his wife and their son, they were out playing at the beach, right? Son swimming out in the ocean. And from one moment to the next, his son starts screaming in the water as he's caught in a rip current and he's taken out to sea. Of course, this man dropped everything that he's doing and he runs into the water and he starts swimming as fast as he can to get to his son. And in doing so, he suffers a massive heart attack himself and became frozen in the water and needed to be saved himself. Fortunately, the lifeguards were able to recover him, but not his son. Now, this man went on to tell us about his story of diving deep into depression, guilt, and shame for not being fit enough to save his son. He talked about how for him, he was never willing to take the time to take care of himself. He never wanted to spend the time to take care of himself. And how in the end, if he did, maybe he could have had the extra time for his son. Maybe he could have saved his son's life. Today, he goes around talking about his experience and how we should have these deep anchors that drive our decisions. In other words, your why. Your why is that anchor, why you do things. Today, he is more fit than most people that I know, and it's because he's placed his greatest asset at the forefront of his life. And in doing so, in becoming strong, vibrant, and healthy, in putting his health first, he now has the capability of helping other people in profound ways. In a sense, we have to be selfish when it comes to our health and decide to be the best versions of ourselves, not only for ourselves, but for everything and everyone else around you. You see, my promise is that I am going to be selfish with my time to take better care of myself, to be the best version of myself for you. And I hope that you can reciprocate that by taking the time out of your day to become the best version of yourself so you are the best you for me. I really do hope that you receive this message. I hope that you enjoy this Friday and go do good things.